Okay. Okay. So, guys, we're going to start. So, welcome to our session. Okay. So, yes. So, guys, very good evening to everyone. Welcome to our session. Sorry for the slight delay. So, I think we are able to start now. So, first of all, I would like to know if you can hear me. So, if you can, please type yes, and then we can start our session. So, would appreciate if you could type yes, and then, we can start our session. Fine. One. So my name is Nash Akthar. So I'm a certified business and career development coach. I also work as an IELTS trainer because I'm a director of an official IELTS testing center in Eastern Europe. But today we're going to focus on how to pass a job interview. In other words, how to face a job interview successfully. So, like I said, I'm a CCA certified business and career development coach. So I didn't become a coach overnight. So I went through a very intense program, and that's why I'm also a member of the ICF, International Coaching Federation. So, but my career, mainly I've been preparing students for IELTS. So I'm also a director of Master IELTS. Many of y'all might know. And also in Eastern Europe, I work as an official IELTS administrator, where I'm in charge of uh, conducting the exam. So also, guys, I have been helping many individuals like corporate clients, entrepreneurs, and also many teachers. Who are looking to establish their career, people who want to kind of take the next step and achieve greater things in their lives. But today, our main goal is to understand how to pass a job interview. It's a very important aspect. And believe me, what I'm going to share today would be very new and unique because quite often I've seen it doesn't matter where you're from or which part of the world, candidates, they just don't answer the right question. Maybe they just want a job and they just apply, and even the CVs actually doesn't look that impressive. So that's why we're going to focus today how to speak at a job interview, then how to present something or someone. How would you present a person or how would you present something? Now, this is a very important part if you want to sell something. And when you say to sell something, even if you look at yourself, you need to sell yourself. That means you need to promote yourself. You need to show that you are a very valuable candidate. So, how to do that? So, that's why the second point is also going to be equally important. Then, guys, I'm also going to show you words you should avoid in professional conversation. What kind of words you should avoid and how you should carry a conversation. So, I'm pretty sure the session will be very useful. And I'm going to make it a bit interactive. We will also focus on some important components related to English as well. Now, next point, guys, is that if you have just joined, and in case you can't see me or hear me, make sure to refresh the browser. So once again, guys, give a plus sign if you can hear me, or please say yes, because from now onwards, the session is going to be really useful. I'm very sure. And also make sure to have a pen and a paper to take down some key notes because I'm pretty sure you'll find it useful. So once again, refresh the browser, make sure you can see me and also you can hear me because it seems like everything is okay. So since we see many participants, I would like to know each one of you. So would it be possible to share some details about you, about yourself? So what is your current role and what do you do in your job? So do you work? Are you a student? So what do you do? What are your future career plans and how do you aim to achieve them? Now, for example, maybe you're holding a position. So, what is your future plan? Maybe you want to change your career. Maybe you want to get promoted. Maybe you want to apply for another job. So, you can be a bit discreet, but at the same time, give me something so that I know with whom I'm going to work with. So, please tell me something about yourself. And are you considering a career change or looking for a better job opportunity? Yes or no? And how important is improving your English skills for your career development? Okay, so I see we have an executive banker, so that's nice. So can you all share some details about you? Would really appreciate. Mm-hmm. Okay. So please just share something about you, whether you're employed, what's your profession, are you looking for a career change, are you looking to get promoted, or maybe you want to kind of yeah, immigrate. Maybe you have some plans related to your career. So it would be great if you can share that as well. Okay. Mhm. So I see we have bankers, a department head. Great. Okay, a nursing student. Great, great. So you don't have to mention the name where exactly you work, right? So you can keep that a bit discreet, but you can just say what you're doing now. Like, I work for and I hold a position. I'm looking to get myself promoted. I'm trying to kind of change my career and so on. So we have students as well. I see. Great. Okay, a PhD opportunity. Understood. Great. Fine. Fine. Okay, great. So, guys, thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. So, now let's move on. Now, when we speak about a job interview, there are certain things you all should know. Maybe you know certain things, but we're going to revise all the points. We need to understand what the potential employer or the HR manager would look for. Number one. Number two, how to build a rapport. And number three, how to show that you are a very valuable employee or you are the most valuable, the most suitable candidate for that job position. So, what should be the approach? Now, here, guys, because in most cases, the job interview would be in English, you need to understand what kind of words you should use, what kind of tenses you should use, and at the same time, it's not just about the language, it's also about the body language. So that's why I'm going to share some surprising facts about job interviews, which I'm pretty sure you will find it interesting. So the first fact is that interview decisions are often made in seconds, not in minutes, not in like 20 to after 20 or 25 minutes, in seconds. So studies show that interviewers typically form quick judgments about candidates based on first impressions, including appearance, body language, and initial greetings. So it's very important, guys, that you know about your body language, the language you use, and your initial greeting. How do you do that? How assertive you are, because in a career life, in a career path, or in any professional environment, I'm pretty sure you will agree that those who have the ability to communicate, those who are assertive, they always reach great heights than those who have better qualifications. Please say yes or no. You must have seen such people. Now, I know from Sri Lanka, the most well-known cricketer, Kumar Sangakkara. Where is he today? And what about the other players? And so on, right? So the thing is, he knows how to articulate his thoughts. He knows how to communicate really well. And that's why even after retirement, he's holding top position. Now, some can say, like, I don't agree and so on, but we all have to agree that he knows how to articulate his thoughts properly. So communication matters a lot, and it's the same at a job interview. So what we need to understand is that even during those first 5 seconds, you need to be very confident. You need to be assertive. Your eye contact should be like, really, I'm not saying sharp, but you need to look at the HR manager, the potential employer. Maybe it could be the CEO of a company. But how do you do that? your firm handshake. And, there are different trainings, even like, with eye to eye, how you should gaze. But that I'm not going to teach today. But there are some important things you all should know. So that's number one. Number two, it's also very important. Nonverbal communication is critical. So, research from the definitive book of body language shows that nonverbal cues like body language, eye contact, and posture are key in interviews, often influencing interviewer perceptions more than spoken words. So, what is very important, guys, it's your posture, right? Shoulders back, how confident you are. Now, you can't just fake it. And even if you're not in that level, you need to develop it. Now, usually, the best thing here, guys, is to visualize, yourself. Imagine yourself now, and also imagine the person you want to be. Never feel shy, never feel reluctant to do that. And it's something that you all should do on a daily basis. Visualize yourself, like how you would like to be, the person you would like to be. And even when you're looking at a job interview, how would you posture yourself? How would you communicate? So never have these buts and ifs, because whenever you give a but and an if, those are things that are going to trouble you. So it's a very important thing. So your posture, the way you carry yourself would also be a huge contributing factor. So that's where, for example, a person who would perform well, confidently, in a very assertive manner, would definitely get the job than the person who is highly qualified, who has worked so much, but would not be able to impress. So these are like things beyond the language. Yes. Then stress interview test resilience. So sometimes, I'm not saying it's always, but some interviewers, some HR managers would like to make the interview a bit stressful. So some companies conduct stress interviews to see how candidates handle pressure, assessing their resilience and problem-solving abilities. This method can be surprising to those who are not prepared. So I'm going to teach you certain things a bit later, but this is also a fact. And once again, I'm not saying that it happens too often, but it's always important to be prepared. Now, when I say to be prepared, you need to understand the position you're applying for. Number one. Number two, the company's background, what the company is about. And you need to understand whether there will be a stressful atmosphere. If so, most probably the interview might be a bit stressful because they want to see whether that person can handle pressure. So you need to kind of, be prepared with these things as well. Then the small talk. Now, it's very crucial. Now, some people, they get it wrong, and it also could be because of the cultural differences. So according to How to Talk to Anyone, it's a very nice book. Small talk at the start of an interview is not trivial. It's an essential part of the interviewer's assessment, used to gauge cultural fit and ease into the conversation. So maybe it's not about they're going to speak about weather. Maybe they might speak even about the politics. Maybe they might try to speak about something maybe you're not aware of, but how are you going to manage it? So it could be like a talk to break the ice, to kind of maybe make you feel comfortable, or even to see how you would manage it. Now, for example, guys, when you go for an interview, if they ask, would you like a cup of tea? Would you like a cup of coffee? Do you know the correct way to answer? You never say, I want tea. You never say, I want coffee. I know a great director, a great individual who has a massive company in Eastern Europe, and I really respect him. I look up to him. I would even say he's one of my role models. And he told me once, he said, Nash, whenever I interview people, I ask this question: would you like a cup of tea? Would you like a cup of coffee? And if they say, no, no, I'm fine, that's also not the right way. Or if they say, like, I want tea, that is also not the right response. The question was, would you like a cup of tea? You can say, yeah, that would be great. Thank you very much. Or like, a cup of coffee would be nice. Or a glass of water would be nice, if that's not a trouble. The question was, would you? I would. You see, so how you would respond. How would you respond? That's important. So you need to kind of understand that as well. So the thing is, All these things are there. It's out there. You need to know them and you need to be prepared and you need to kind of respond accordingly. So the next one, guys, is likability. So you have to be. Now, there is no such thing like, I am who I am, accept me for the way I am. That does not work in a corporate environment, especially in a competitive environment. You need to be adaptable, likable. Now, those things are very important. Sometimes people say, like, I keep changing the job because I don't like the environment. Sometimes I ask them, maybe you can be the person who should adapt. Then in this case, it's not the company. So it's something that you all should assess. That's also very important. Um, so thinking fast and slow reveal that interviewers often prefer candidates they personally like over those who may be more qualified but less personable. This emphasizes the importance of rapport and soft skills in interviews. So, like I said, the smile, how presentable you are, how flexible you are in a situation, those things matter a lot. Now, it's not just about a job interview. I think this is actually right throughout our career. We need to understand that, like, how we should communicate, how to avoid conflicts, what kind of words we should use, how to feel that you are valuable, and how to show your appreciation. So these are things maybe we know, but we at the same time should question whether we implement them, whether we use them in our career path. And believe me, those who do it, they are more successful than those who don't. So that's obvious. Okay, fine. Then, guys, now let's look at some commonly asked job questions. Number one, tell me about yourself. Number two, why do you want to work here? Number three, what are your greatest strengths? So the first question is, tell me about yourself. Why do you want to work here? And the next one is, what are your greatest strengths? Now, these are like questions that are asked usually, but of course, there will be other questions related to the position, related to your qualification and so on. But these are some common questions usually asked. Then, what are your greatest weakness? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And what are your salary expectations? Now, what I want you to understand is when you answer these questions, you need to understand the job requirement, what exactly they're looking for, and how your answers would adapt those needs, would meet those needs. Now, those things are very crucial. So before we focus on the model answers, if you're here to pass a job interview in English, let's be very straightforward. You need to be very thorough with your grammar. And especially if a foreigner is going to interview you, and if he or she is a native speaker, and if you use wrong grammar constructions, I think it will be a disaster, and it has happened. I've seen people crying. I've seen people becoming frustrated. Or most of the time they say, like, I am a highly qualified person. I have so much experience, but it's because of the language barrier, they are not able to shine. And I've seen people in big corporates, and even when I was in Sri Lanka, I've seen, and I'm a bit surprised, like, they hold positions, or there are people, they want to hold top positions, but they're not able to articulate. And if you look at the world today, guys, let's be very honest. Countries that speak the same language around the world, like if you look at English, if it's the main language, they don't fight much. But countries where they don't speak English, where English is not their native language, they have some issues with countries that speak English as their native language. I'm not saying it's 100%, but it's proven scientifically that there is always a misunderstanding. An interpreter would not be able to interpret the thoughts properly. So that's why language is important. So what we're going to do now is to do a small grammar assessment. And like I said, I want to make this session very interactive. So can you choose the correct sentence, which is grammatically correct? Like, choose the grammatically correct sentence for describing a past job experience for the first one. The second one says, select the sentence that correctly to indicate an ongoing condition up to the present. So what's the answer for the first one? I work at ABC Corp for 2 years in marketing. I have worked at ABC Corporation for 2 years in marketing. I worked at ABC Corporation for 2 years in marketing. So the question is, choose the grammatically correct sentence for describing a past job experience, which is correct. Second one, select the sentence that correctly to indicate an ongoing condition up to the present. That means from the past till the present. Which one is that? So the first one, remember, describing a past job experience. When we say past job experience, it's over. The second one, select the sentence that correctly to indicate an ongoing condition up to the present, from the past till the present. Which one is that? So I see the answers coming. So just if you don't mind, yeah, mention it. Like first answer is, let's say A. Second answer is, let's say C, for example. Those are not the correct answers, but would like to know. Well done. So I see the answers coming. So definitely yes. So the answer for the first one is past simple. I worked at ABC Corp for 2 years in marketing. Well done, because it's over. Past simple for a completed time period. But when you speak about your experience, and especially if your career is not over yet, second one is going to be B, it's present perfect for action starting in the past and continuing in the present. So you can say, I have worked for 5 companies, or I have been in this field for the past 5 years. So you can also use present perfect continuous if you speak about the process. I've been working, that's also fine. But when you speak about your experience, I have worked for 5 companies. I have completed 5 projects up to now. I have completed. I have done. So it's always present perfect. So do keep that in mind. That's important. So once again, when you speak about completed actions, which are no longer relevant now, which are not happening now, you kind of use past simple. And when you mention, especially the years, the past years, you would use past simple. Like in 1990, I worked for. 2 years ago, I worked for. But if you use since, like since 1990, that's a long time, till now, I have worked for 20 companies, for example. Since, you see, or I have worked in this field for 5 years, because that means you're still in this field. So pay attention to this. That's an important part. Fine. So guys, let's check the next one. So can you choose the correct answer here? Select the correct use, the tense for describing current activities, and the next one, identify the grammatically correct sentence that uses the future tense to express intentions. So when you speak about current events, that means it's in the process. So which is the correct answer? And when you speak about intentions, like future plans, which is the correct option? Okay. Well done. So I see the answers coming. So remember, right, when we speak about the current activities which are in process, we would use present continuous for ongoing activities at the moment of speaking. We would use, again, like, future continuous, guys, like I'm planning to initiate a new outreach program next month. I'm planning to initiate, we would also use to discuss future plans in a formal context. You see, so it's more like future continuous. I'm planning, I'm intending, because it's already planned, it's already in the agenda. So we would use future continuous. So remember, guys, when you speak about experience, that's what I want to share now. So past tense and present perfect, use the past tense when talking about previous experiences, roles, achievements, and completed projects. It helps provide a clear timeline of your professional history. Example, I worked as a project manager for 5 years where I led a team of 10 people. You see, or I have worked in 3 companies. That's in the process. So when you use past simple, you're making the potential employer to understand it's something that you did in the past, which is no longer relevant. I mean, it's over. So you need to kind of understand that, because this is somewhere many candidates at a job interview, they struggle. And quite often, even the ones who are fluent, they confuse present perfect and past simple. And unfortunately, countries like Sri Lanka, no offense, where there are mass classes, only the teacher would just teach and would never get the students interact. Now today it's like a live session, but usually when we conduct our like our lessons, we have interactive lessons where we encourage students to speak and we provide feedback. So the time of looking at the teacher on a screen should be over. You need to have the opportunity to communicate. So that's important as well. Then present tense. Use the present tense continuous when describing your current situation, role, skills, and what you're currently working on or looking for. Like, I'm currently focusing on developing my skills in digital marketing, particularly in SEO and content strategy. So when you speak about your present situation or what you're doing, you should use present continuous. So that's simple. Then future tense. Use the future tense sparingly, mainly when discussing your career aspirations, goals, or what you hope to achieve in the position you're interviewing for. Like, I aim to leverage my skills and experience in a role that allows me to contribute to innovative marketing strategies. You see, I aim to leverage my skills and experience in a role that allows me to contribute to innovative marketing strategies. So once again, if you look at it, think about your experience, what you have done since the past till now, then what you did at a particular moment in the past, what are you doing now, which would be really amazing for the potential employer to know, and what are you planning to do? Now, if you look at these points, what tenses would you use? Now, also keep that in mind. So, number 2, guys, is the vocabulary that you should use. Action verbs. Start sentences or bullet points with action verbs to describe your responsibilities and achievements. This makes your statements more dynamic and impactful. Examples: managed, led, developed, designed, implemented, achieved. And even, guys, I see some CVs when people write, they say, like, I am diligent, hardworking, ambitious. What is that? That is not the way even to write a CV. Where even you should check your CV, go through your CV, and if you have only just general point like worked for this company, worked as a marketing head, worked at I don't know, a very prestigious company. Let's say like we have the HSBC in Sri Lanka as well. But the point is, it doesn't impress the HR manager or the employer. But if you mention some specific achievements, some specific things that you've done, which would be interesting for that potential, your future company, then that would draw their attention. So that's why you should use such vocabulary: managed, led, developed, designed, implemented, achieved. Now, if you're a banker, maybe if it's the credit department, maybe you are able to offer more credits to the clients at a good rate. So maybe you increased it from, let's say, from 5% to 10%. So if you can be very specific, that would be important. So if you're a designer, speak about some projects, specific projects that really showed success. Now, let's say, like, let's keep it simple. You're applying for a salesman position. And, They're looking for your performance. But if you just say, like, I worked as a sales manager for this company, I worked as a sales manager for a company called C. But on the other hand, if you mention that after I joined, I increased sales from 5 to 10%, now that's going to draw my attention. I was able to convert rejected clients to sales in 1990, and that actually increased our sales to 30%. If you mention that, that's going to draw the attention. So when you write your CVs and when you are at a job interview, do not be general. And the biggest crime candidates do is actually following a template, just thinking that you have to speak like this. No, you have to use, once again, action verbs and be more specific. That is an important part as well. Next one, guys, quantifiable achievements. Whenever possible, quantify your achievements with numbers, percentages, or specific outcomes to provide concrete evidence of your capabilities. For example, I've already mentioned increased sales by 20%, reduced operational cost by 15%, grew the subscriber base by 10,000. Now, we also have Masters online in Sri Lanka. We are doing fantastically well, phenomenally. We are performing well. Even today, I saw a student passing IELTS because we have our own methods. And not long ago, I kind of wanted to see whether there are some SMM managers who would be able to help us in Sri Lanka. And unfortunately, none of them convinced me because they could not give me specific achievements. They say, yes, I can design. Yes, I promote on Facebook. Yes, I advertise on Facebook. What are the success rates? What have you achieved? What could you do? Now, that is something you all should know. So maybe you all know. If you do, that's great. But I would ask you all after our session today, go through your CV. How clear is it? Does it convince you? Do you feel wow about it? Because if you speak about your school achievements, guys, if you speak that you were a prefect, or you participated in a Shakespeare concert, a drama competition, or you narrated some poems, and if you say I played football, I played soccer, unfortunately it's good for you. But the thing is, this is my job. I want you to help me. Can you be the solution? Now you need to kind of understand that. So that's an important part. So next one, guys, professional titles and certifications. Mention any relevant professional titles, certifications, or educational qualifications that support your candidacy. That means, a certified project manager, bachelor's in marketing, certified public accountant. Yeah, so mention that, but don't say I have a certificate in elocution. That's not interesting, even at a conversation, at a job interview, or when you mention your CVs. So I'm going to show you some model answers that would be useful. So here we have, tell me about yourself. Look, it says, I'm an engineer specialized in construction, and I have been in this field for over a decade. Throughout my career, I've been involved in the construction of various skyscrapers in Dubai. In 2022, I played an instrumental role in laying the foundation for the Crown Plaza X building. I continually update my knowledge to keep pace with the latest changes in the industry and always strive to meet deadlines. Now, this answer is suitable if that person is a civil engineer, and if he's actually applying for construction, then he should mention some specific details, specific achievements. That's something that you all should keep in mind. So if you're a doctor, if you're a surgeon, about the surgeries, the success rate, right? If you're an interior designer, some of the interior designs, maybe it could be a hotel, it could be housing scheme, I don't know. So look for, first of all, try to understand what they're looking for, and make sure your answer is very specific, goal-oriented, and when you join them, what you would like to achieve together with them. So something that you all should keep in mind. Now, here another model answer. Tell me about yourself. My name is Sarah Anderson, and I have served as a chief accountant for the past 10 years. During this time, I've gained extensive experience in various accounting disciplines. Now, she's an accountant, that's why. Ranging from financial accounting to managerial accounting. In 2020, amidst the pandemic, I played a pivotal role in reducing expenses at Company X significantly, contributing to the company's ability to navigate through a challenging period. Now, if I was the CEO of a company, I would be a bit impressed. Now she is able to reduce the cost. Currently, I'm seeking opportunities to leverage my expertise and skills in a new environment, aiming to add substantial value to an organization that aligns with my professional aspirations. Now, guys, even when you write cover letters, don't follow templates. Don't say, like, I'm going to be a valuable candidate. But how are you going to be valuable? And never have this thought like, I need to get a job, I need to earn money. Now, that's where we are deceiving ourselves, and we are kind of putting ourselves down in front of an employer or a HR manager. You need to be that proactive person who is solution oriented to that company. In life, guys, it's about how much value we can bring in. And I always tell my clients, and even when I train, like, corporates, that's what I tell them. Each individual, always try to understand, what is your value? How valuable are you? Now, to understand that, it's not about like, I'm qualified. It's about how can you be a solution to different situations? How can you be that person who can find solutions? The same goes in cricket, right? The best player is the player who gets more money. And if you look at this IPL, how does it work? Have you seen they all hug, they all kiss, but when the moment comes, when the player doesn't play, that's it, it's goodbye. They all say, like, we are family, we are together, we are one big family. But when the player doesn't perform, you've seen it. That's life. Like that, when you go for a job interview, when you're applying for a job, when you write your CV, when you write your cover letter, always think that, for this job, I'm going to be a very valuable candidate because I have proof, I have achievements. And with those achievements, I can be a solution. So that's why I want to tell you all, maybe you're a great individual. We are all great individuals. We are all talented. God has gifted us certain talents. So the thing is, you need to kind of understand, how can you be a solution to an organization, to a situation, and you need to reflect that in your CV, at a job interview, and even when you write your cover letter. So please keep that in mind. So make sure that you do answer like this, and later I'll take some questions. I'll be more than happy. So then, guys, why do you want to work here? The question, why do you want to? You can't say, like, because I want to earn more money. Or you can't say, like, your company is very famous, and if I, I think that, it'll be an honor for me to work with y'all. And I even saw not long ago, one guy was like praising me because he kind of said I gave him some time and he wanted to cooperate. But we had a conversation. I know my team is here too. And he spoke for half an hour and failed to convince us. But he's a nice guy. So what can I do? It's not business. So like that, guys, you can't just say, like, oh, I like your company, you're so famous, and I think I just want to be part of your team. It will be such an honor. Don't go like that. Never speak like that. Nobody's going to be impressed. So why do you want to work here? I've been following your company for 5 years, and I'm really impressed with how your product, M, has become so popular in the market. Seeing your company grow so quickly makes me think that good financial management is more important than ever. I'm looking forward to using my experience in finance and budgeting to help out. I believe my background, because, this is Sarah, who was very effective during the pandemic, right? My background can really support your team as you keep growing. I'm excited about the possibility of joining your team and helping with your financial planning. Now, that would kind of convince the potential employer. So my suggestion is, of course, I would like to train you all, but that's why I'm going to show you my course, because I can't listen to you all today. But you all need to understand, what's your position? How can you be a solution? You're applying for a job to a company. It could be the most prestigious company there. Doesn't matter. You need to show that you are valuable. You can be a solution. If they hire you, it's not you who is going to prosper, but the company is going to prosper. That's why, for example, some companies, they pay top dollar for certain CEOs, right? Because they think that these CEOs can deliver, not because they like him. So you just need to kind of understand that. So make sure you answer questions accordingly, guys. Now, even if they ask, like, I don't know much about programming, if they ask about what do you know about this coding? So don't say, yes, I know this coding, I've done it. But if you can be more specific about that coding, if you can speak about the success of that, that would be much better. Then the next one is, what are your greatest strengths? You can say, one of my greatest strengths is my ability to meet tight deadlines. A good example of this was during the pandemic when we faced the challenge of presenting the 2019 cash flow analysis within just 3 days. I managed to gather and analyze all necessary data, ensuring the report was ready on time. Additionally, I prioritize keeping my knowledge current in my field. This commitment to continuous learning has equipped me to adapt quickly to change and apply the latest best practices in my work. So when you say my strength is hardworking, if you just say my strength is like, meeting deadlines, that's fine. But if you can go into details, if you can go into examples, that would be even better. So that way you would stand out. Now, even when we look for client service, right? You can't just say, I'm very good at communicating. I lead with stressful situation. But if you can go into a specific moment, into details, like, you know how to handle clients, maybe some stressful moments, how you handle that. Maybe the client was aggressive, but how did you deal with that? That would be really great. That would be really great. So what I'm trying to say is when you speak about strengths, mention them, but be more specific. Speak about some achievements from the past. Now, yeah, I don't know, for example, some HR managers or directors might ask this question, the next one, but some of them won't. Like, what is your greatest weakness? What is your greatest weakness? So here you can't say, like, I'm very emotional, I cry. So you can't, like, be so open, but here you need to be tactful. So you can say one of my greatest weaknesses has been taking on too much responsibility and finding it difficult to delegate tasks. I've recognized, however, that effective delegation is crucial for team success and my own well-being. To address this, I've taken concrete steps towards improvement. Firstly, I've begun to prioritize my tasks more effectively, focusing on areas where I add the most value. Additionally, I worked on developing my delegation skills, learned to trust my team with the responsibilities that they are fully capable of handling. This approach has not only helped me manage my workload better, but has also contributed to a more empowered and capable team. So once again, guys, when they ask about your weaknesses, nowadays, I wouldn't say it's common, but you never know. Some might go with the same format. So if they ask, handle it nicely. If you say you are very emotional, don't just stand there, but say what you are doing to cope with that. If you say that you are kind of, a bit nervous, you become nervous at a particular moment, show how you cope with that. What do you do? Because nobody wants a person who's going to be who's going to break down emotionally, or who's going to be too nervous, who's going to panic, right? So you can't just take it lightly, but if you mention it, you should also show how you're coping with it. So that's something that you all should know as well. Then, guys, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Now, those who are inexperienced and they're just innocent, they might say, like, I want to become the director, I want to start my own business. Now, those things are not appropriate if you're applying for a job, right? So where do you see yourself in 5 years? In 5 years, I envision myself as an established expert in accounting, making significant contributions to my team's success and assuming leadership roles in strategic projects. My particular interest lies in financial management, and I plan to deepen my expertise in this area through continuous professional development and practical experience. So mention you just don't want to become the head of department, but you're working for it. You're working for it, like, by performance, acquiring more knowledge, trying to get more qualification. So that way it will be very beneficial for the organization. Now, that's the way, guys. Okay. And additionally, I aim to mentor junior colleagues, sharing my knowledge and insights to foster their growth within the company. Ultimately, I seek a career path that challenges me consistently and allows me to make meaningful contributions. So basically, if they ask, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Now, if you're an engineer, maybe you want to become the head of that department, head of that field. Maybe you want to become the branch manager. You want to become the general manager, right? We have the senior manager. So if you are aiming for that, you can be open, but you can't just say, I want the position. And never go, even don't go and speak to your employer like, I work more than him, I deserve it. You know what I mean? Never develop that habit. So there are different techniques. Usually I conduct that for my clients, but I won't be able to do everything today, guys. But there are ways to communicate. There are ways to handle a situation. The more you learn, you will definitely thrive. Why, for example, a 35-year-old guy would progress and would get promoted, and maybe another guy who has been working so hard wouldn't be? Why do you get those thoughts? So it's not just like, working hard, but it's also about being a solution oriented person. That's number one. So always question yourself, are you a solution oriented person? Even in your family, even in your professional life, even in your day-to-day activities, are you solution oriented, or you kind of react to a situation? So are you proactive or reactive? Number one. Number two, guys, you see, whenever you are ambitious, it's okay to be ambitious. You should be ambitious, but you need to understand, in order to achieve your ambition, you need to be solution oriented. You need to add value. You need to do something that would help the organization, the department, the team leader, or the senior manager, right? The head of department. So think on those lines. That would be really, really useful, believe me. So next one, guys, what are your salary expectations? So I've seen, like, even when I interview certain candidates, I'm very sad to see, like, yes, they expect a high salary, but they don't show me how they can be valuable. Because in life, guys, even you, right? You pay for something that is valuable, right? Now, we all know, for example, like, you would be happy to pay a top dollar for an iPhone. Why? Because you believe it's prestigious, it's long lasting. I'm just saying, maybe I could be wrong. So the point is, we are ready to pay if we think that it's going to be valuable. So how can you expect, if I can't justify myself to a potential employer, that they should pay me if I'm not valuable? So you can't say, like, I need 75. If you don't pay me, I'm not very sure. So you can't speak like that. So how to respond? So let's see. My salary expectations are based on the current market rates for professionals with my level of experience and skill set in the accounting field. I've researched the typical range of this role in our industry and region, and I understand that positions similar to this one typically offer a range of insert specific salary range here. You need to be honest, by the way. Don't manipulate. Never do that. So $60,000 to $80,000 a year, let's say. Of course, I'm flexible and open to discussing the total compensation package, including benefits and other non-monetary aspects that contribute to job satisfaction and work-life balance. I'm keen to find a position that is mutually beneficial and aligns with the value I bring to them. So here, guys, you need to speak like that. Now, for example, if you're a person, now here, let's say Sarah, who is actually an accountant, has helped a company during the time of pandemic, and if she says that she has achieved certain targets, I would be more interested to hire Sarah, because maybe she might bring down my cost. She might kind of, be able to budget things properly, and that way the company is going to save more money. So why not to pay a bit more to Sarah? She is valuable. You see? So that's how the conversation should go. Because quite often, would you believe, and I'm being very honest, guys, because I also work with other coaches, they tell me that, over 60% of the candidates, they just fail to understand how to play the game properly. And it's not about, like, you're trying to fake, you're trying to manipulate. You need to be genuine, and you need to really see the solution. That's the right approach. So I don't know whether you guys read books related to self-development. The best one is actually How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie. 7 Habits of Effective People, Stephen Covey, right? So these are, like, the best books ever. I think it's even worth reading those books than, spending $5,000 on Tony Robbins. I'm being very honest. Or, like, some other coaches' workshops. Because, the principles are the same. Nothing has changed. Whether we have AI or whether we don't have AI, we deal with humans. And always remember, even that HR manager, even that CEO is a human. He has emotions. And no one is interested in your gain, but it should be mutual. It should be win-win. And if you read Seven Habits of Effective People, that's one of the most important habits. He mentions a win-win situation, a win-win situation. And that's something that you all should keep in mind. So guys, now I'll slowly take some questions as well. But before we do that, I'm going to show you how to present something or someone. It's a bit of English, but at the same time, it's an important aspect. In fact, we also focus on this in IELTS, because IELTS is all about professional English too. So in the professional world, the ability to present effectively is invaluable. Whether you're in a meeting, pitching an idea to potential investors, or interviewing for a job, how you convey information can significantly impact your audience perception and decision making. Mastering the art of presentation not only helps you communicate more effectively, but also boost your confidence and professional image. So the thing is, guys, it doesn't matter whether it's a meeting, whether it's a potential investor, maybe you're at a job interview, maybe you want to convey an information, even in a family, husband and wife, right? How you speak can solve many things. Number one, how you speak can convince the other person. So that's an important part. So I'm going to show you how we should do that. So the thing is, guys, there are 3 skills you need to master. Number 1, articulation. Number 2, sequencing. Number 3, clarity in communication. So articulation means connecting your ideas. Sequencing means organizing them. And then there should be clarity. Nowadays, we all speak English, but the point is there is no logic. So even in a conversation, even in an argument, you can't say, I have done so much. Don't you know I did this? How you go there? You should never go to that level in life. But the moment you go there, you're on the offensive, and, you're trying to defend your points. So articulation of thoughts, being able to articulate your thoughts is crucial for clear communication. This means expressing your ideas precisely and understandably. A good presenter knows how to translate complex information into accessible language, making it easier for the audience to grasp the message. So once again, guys, let me read it for you. Being able to articulate your thoughts is crucial for clear communication. This means expressing your ideas precisely and understandably. A good presenter knows how to translate complex information into accessible language, making it easier for the audience to grasp the message. So this is something usually students should know, even if they want to pass any language test. And this will be very important for a job interview as well. Then sequencing thoughts. Effective presentation also involves the ability to sequence thoughts logically. This skill ensures that the presentation flows smoothly, with each point building upon the previous one. A well-structured presentation helps maintain the audience focus and facilitates better understanding of the subject matter. Now, this is very important today. AI is coming. It might replace all the jobs, but let's be honest, it might not replace all the YouTubers. Communication is becoming more and more important now. Presentation skills are becoming more and more important now. To conduct a meeting properly in a very logical is becoming more and more important. The person who can communicate properly would stand out better nowadays than those who cannot. So it's a very important aspect as well. Then clarity in expression. Clarity in expressing ideas is key to engaging your audience. When introducing new concepts or technical terms, it's important to explain them in simpler words. So maybe, you are an IT geek. You know everything about IT. Maybe you're the best surgeon out there and you know all the surgical terms, but I have no clue, my friend. So for me to understand, you can use those terms, but also you need to explain in simpler words. And never ask, do you know this term? Do you know this? Never do that. Never do that. Never question a person and put that person to feel uncomfortable. Don't do that. So this is an important part of what I'm trying to say is, even if you use an advanced word, if you use some kind of posh word, when you're presenting something, rephrase it. And by the way, guys, that's the great thing about IELTS. That's why I love IELTS. it does teach all those things, but it's not what many teachers do. They don't teach those things. They don't make students understand the true essence of IELTS. If you prepare properly, it covers all those points. But anyway, that's a different topic. So this approach ensures that all audience members, regardless of their background knowledge, can follow along. For example, if you use the term sustainable development, immediately provide a brief, simple definition such as ways of improving our world that make sure future generations can also have a good life. Now, for example, guys, let's keep politics aside. I'm not here to speak politics. What I want to say is, if you look at Barack Obama, we all know, and even yesterday I read an article that after many years, like after many decades, after Ronald Reagan, actually, Obama is one of the best speakers. And he's one of the greatest speakers of all times. But if you look at his speech, and you should watch, he would say, I believe that country, that's what he wanted to invade a country, I can't tell you, that country needs democracy. In other words, people should have the freedom to choose their leader on their own. Now, that's his democracy, but it doesn't matter. But the ability to rephrase it, to elaborate that word in your own words would make you an eloquent speaker. It would create more clarity. Now, that's something that you all should understand as well. So remember, there are three things, okay? Try to articulate your thoughts, articulate, connect it, sequence your thoughts, and make sure there is clarity. Make sure that there is clarity. That's an important aspect as well. So enhancing communication with linkers and organizing words. So I'm going to show you the basic, the most important principle, how to use linkers. To master effective presentation skills, it's essential to use linkers and organizing words correctly. These tools help us articulate our thoughts clearly, sequence our ideas logically, and express our points with precision. They guide the audience through our presentation, making our message more coherent and compelling. Now, for example, explain the advantage of buying an apartment from our company. You see, buying an apartment from our company is advantageous for a number of reasons. Firstly, we offer the best rates in the market. In other words, you see, we provide two-room spacious apartments at the lowest price. Moreover, our apartments are located in areas where the market value keeps growing. The reason is we never compromise on the materials we use, and we construct in locations where real estate value is consistently on the rise. That is why investing in our apartments will be fruitful investment in the long run. So once again, guys, if you look at it, buying an apartment from our company is advantageous for a number of reasons. Firstly, we offer the best rates in the market. So we offer the best rates. Then we rephrase it. In other words, we provide two-room spacious apartments at the lowest price. Moreover, our apartments are located in areas where the market value keeps growing. The reason is we never compromise on the materials we use, and we construct in locations where real estate value is consistently on the rise. That is why investing in our apartment will be a fruitful investment in the long run. Now, the same thing, guys, could be applied when you want to promote yourself. If you tell the head of department, the HOD, for example, I believe I'm suitable for a number of reasons. First of all, for the past few months, I have taken too much responsibility, and by yourself, for it. Go into details. And then, guys, don't say that is why, because then I think that if I take up this position, what you'll be able to do. So always articulate your thoughts, sequence your thoughts, go into facts, and always make sure that you're a person who would stick with facts rather than generalizing things, rather than emotionalizing things. That would not be the right way to deal with things. And even in my life, I've done so many mistakes, and I have learned a lot for the past 10 or 11 years. And I've been an entrepreneur for more than 10 years now. I've been coaching for since 2019. So it's like 5 years almost. So the thing is, guys, we all learn. We are humans. We're bound to make mistakes. No one is perfect. But the best thing is always questioning yourself, analyzing yourself. And even, if a situation goes the wrong way, let's say you reacted, analyze it, learn from it, move on. But don't harp on it. Don't kind of, keep thinking about it, but move on. That would make you a better person than yesterday. So that's the most important thing you all should know. So when we speak about linking and organizing words for effective presentations, you can use firstly that introduce the first point or reason. Then, in other words, you can say provides a clear explanation or restatement, or you can say, in other words, or to put it simply, or you can say, I would like to explain this term, and you can go into details. And when you add, you can say moreover. And when you give reason, you can say the reason is, and when you speak about the result, that is why. But in English, we have other options. So can you give me synonyms? What other words can we use instead of moreover, furthermore, and so on? Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. So I'll give you some time. Moreover, that is why. Okay, so guys, now let's get down to this task. Can you give me synonyms for moreover, as a result, however, for example? So what other synonyms can we use instead of moreover? What other synonyms can we use instead of as a result? Well done. Okay, I want everyone to get a bit involved. Now, come on, let's check your knowledge. Don't feel shy. Express yourself. Well done. Well done. Well done. I see the answers coming. Now, and is a conjunction. We might not use it very often, but still, yeah. Great, great. So, guys, well done. Well done. Love the effort. So, we can say furthermore, in addition, besides, on top of that. Now, when we speak, it's better to use linking phrases such as in addition, on top of that, besides. Furthermore, moreover, yes, we can use in a formal conversation, but don't overuse them. When you speak about results, as a result, that is why, thus, therefore, consequently. However, nevertheless, having said that, nonetheless, despite this, and when you give example, for instance, to illustrate a clear indication of this is, especially when you're delivering a presentation, that would be nice. Like a clear indication of this is, a clear evidence of this, right? So use such words that would really help you to kind of, structure more, to kind of, articulate your thoughts. So now, guys, I would like to show professional communication alternatives to common phrases. So here I'm going to share some words that you should use that would make you stand out. And also, like, it's better to use such words rather than using some common words. Okay. So I'm going to show you, and I'm pretty sure you will find it useful. So let's slowly start then. Okay. So here we go. Since it's a live session, maybe sometimes you might hear me. There could be a 5-second delay. So that's why I'm going to take some time. And yeah, let's get started. So the thing is, guys, the word problem. From now onwards, use better options like, challenge or issue. Or we can even use the word concern. Now imagine you're having a conversation. You can say, look, John, I went through your proposal and I have some problems. That's not the way. But if you say, I went through your proposal and I would like to discuss certain concerns, or there are certain concerns I would like to discuss. If you use the word concern, that would be much better. Very good, exceptional, outstanding. Very bad, avoid using that in your conversation. Unsatisfactory, concerning. Important, crucial, significant. I don't agree with you. I see differently. I have another perspective. So at least these are the basics. Not a big deal. I agree. But at least check, assess yourself. See whether you use such words when you speak or whether you're able to use better alternatives, because that would make you stand out. So, like I said, guys, the words we use would define our character in English. And in a professional environment, it matters a lot. Because don't always try to make the professional environment too informal, because maybe it's fine, but in the long run, it doesn't work that well. So you do need to use the right words when you're at a meeting. You need to use the right words when you're at a job interview. You need to use proper words when you're presenting something. So don't use like, slang, some, cranky jokes all the time. There should be humor, there should be, but it should be done in an appropriate way. So that's something that you all should know as well. Fine. So, guys, like I mentioned, business English communication is very important. Never take it lightly. Let me tell you a story. Let's look at Dubai. We all say, like, Dubai is great and so on. Dubai is great for people who can thrive, who can succeed. And when I was in Dubai, I'm very sorry to say, I've seen some Asians who are just under the tree, standing under the sun, looking for jobs. And I understood that that mindset is not going to be helpful. What I'm saying is, in order to be a successful person, in order to reach great heights, communication is very important. And we are looking at English. So that's why business English communication is going to be an important tool, especially with the changes we are observing. So number one, guys, is global reach and opportunities, because proficiency in business English allows professionals to engage with clients, colleagues, and stakeholders around the world, opening up international markets and opportunities for collaboration. So, guys, even like, if you look at team building, to get connected, networking, we all love that, right? But how would you present yourself? You can't just go and say, like, do you have a deal? I do this. Don't brag about you. So there are so many things we need to work on. Even in a conversation, don't speak much about yourself. Be more interested about the other person. So there are so many techniques. I would love to share it with you all, but I think we are running out of time. But yeah, there are things that we need to know. Then enhance professional image, because effective communication in English boosts your professional credibility. The Sri Lankan cricketer Kumar Sangakkara is a great example. Is a great example for this point. Career advancement. You see, so it's important. In English, it's often a critical requirement for higher level positions with multinational companies. And multinational companies would only take the person who can communicate properly, irrespective of the qualification. We know now in many South Asian countries, people are getting more and more qualified. Take India, for example. Every other person has a degree. So don't just get impressed by looking at Sundar Pichai and so on. But there are people who are doing odd jobs with a degree at home. And most of them are facing that condition because they don't have the ability to articulate their thoughts. And then, guys, effective negotiation and conflict resolution. Understanding the nuance of English allows professionals to negotiate more successfully and manage conflicts more effectively. Please don't get me wrong. Please don't think that I'm trying to boast. But I can tell you, whenever I go to a hotel, if I don't like the service, I make sure they upgrade the room to a suite. All the time, I've succeeded. Because I don't shout, I don't blackguard them. I just tell them how I feel, what will be the outcome, but I negotiate and get the best out of it. And when I was in Sri Lanka, I don't want to name the hotels. I've stayed in certain hotels in Colombo, and I made sure, because I was not very happy, that they upgraded those rooms for me. Because, there were some hiccups. Maybe, they tried to charge a bit more, and I negotiated. And I stood up for my rights and made sure that they provided. When I was in Kandy, I did the same. So it's not only in Candy. When I was in Finland, I did the same. What I'm saying is communication, negotiation, conflict resolution. These are very important skills, guys, especially if you want to thrive in your career. Because I see that a lot of professionals, and not long ago, no offense, I'm preparing, because we have a student from Sri Lanka who is actually a doctor, and she's preparing for IELTS. So we are observing her. So the point is, she's a doctor, I think she's a surgeon, but she needs to achieve a very high score. But the language, there's so much to work on. So now, the thing is, you have to really boost your skills if you want to kind of, reach great heights. Then, guys, why learning English can be challenging. Nowadays, let's be honest, even in Sri Lanka, right, there are so many spoken English classes. And when I did my research, I was so surprised how they teach in their native language. Off with an arrow goes like this. Students are watching, writing it down. How will they speak? So they just go and sit and they listen to the teacher. And the teacher speaks in their native language, and so on. I'm not saying it's wrong. But there should be a proper guidance. So this is an issue around the world. Many learners miss crucial feedback on how to effectively improve their English skills. Let's be honest. Number 2, lack of individual attention. Language is a skill and you need to have proper feedback. I would again go back to cricket because cricket is actually very popular, right, in our countries. The thing is, guys, if you look at cricket, right, the best cricketers are mentored by professional coaches. And when they speak about their coaches, they always had individual attention. How can the cricketers play if they also go to some mass classes and if the teacher shows this is how you should bat like this, hit it, that's it, hit the ball, yeah, hell with it, just hit. No, it doesn't work like that, right? So the thing is, individual attention, individual feedback, understanding each student's need is crucial. In Eastern Europe, and even if I take countries like Russia, Estonia, Lithuania, and so on, and especially Russia because I have a lot of experience, they never compromise on the quality. And students, they demand for that quality too. Then lack of purpose. Another thing, guys, is like, when you want to improve your English skills, you need to have a clear purpose. You need to understand for what. Is it for professional conversation? Is it for changing a career? Maybe for that career path you do require, or maybe to build your confidence and have clear targets. That's an important part. Today, quite often students struggle with IELTS, not because of poor English. Most of them don't have a clear purpose. They just want to pass IELTS to immigrate. That's not great. Have a clear score, a targeted score, and work on that. And I always tell that to my students, and I see when they realize that, they work better. So professional guidance, individual attention, and also you need to have a clear purpose. So I would like to introduce our Career Step program. The program is very popular in Eastern Europe. So don't think that, it's something that we haven't tried. So if you look at our Career Steps, it's actually an English course, a business English course with career development components. So coaching components, we also would speak about time management, how to speak, how to negotiate, and so on. So it's a 12-week program. It's going to be for 3 months. That means lessons are going to be twice a week, and each lesson will be for 2 hours. So it's going to be, once again, 12 weeks. That means it's going to be for 3 months. I'm sorry. Then, guys, lessons are going to conducted twice a week, and each lesson going to be for 2 hours. So it's going to be 72 hours altogether. So the thing is, guys, each group will be through Zoom, and it will be mini groups, maximum 15 students in each group. So that's the main unique part of this. Then there will be career development components. So the thing is, like I said, we will integrate career coaching to align your English skills with professional goals. So that's a very important part, because today it's not just Sri Lanka. Even in Eastern Europe, there is a huge gap. And that's why Career Step has become very meaningful as an English course. Then interactive lessons, engaging dynamic teaching methods that encourage active participation and practical learning. What do I mean by that? The thing is, guys, you see, when you join our lessons, you will do certain tasks. So for example, we will create some situations and you will see how to negotiate, how to promote a product, how to handle a telephone conversation, how to handle a very troublesome client. So we will take different situations, email marketing. So we will teach you how to speak, but it's not like you just write and go home. You'll be doing interactive sessions with a partner, proper feedback. Then, for example, how to pass a job interview, you see, and then we will take some corporate situations, being promoted or not being promoted, how to discuss, you see, how you should speak properly in English. So this is a very, very unique product, and I'm pretty sure you will find it useful. We already have a couple of students who are very thankful. So, and also, guys, never join a course, any course, if they don't have a program. Please don't do that, because when I did my research in Sri Lanka, that's what people do. They just go, they say, oh, there's a sir, he's great, he's a god, let's go, let's pay, let's sit. And then what's next? And then you listen to that teacher's stories. No, in our program, we have a curriculum. So this is what we will teach apart from grammar and tenses: how to negotiate in English, how to avoid conflict situations in a working environment, how to communicate effectively at meetings, greetings and meetings, business traveling and useful language, time management and effectiveness, telephone conversations, you see, convincing and selling, presenting and explaining how something works. It's a very important aspect, right? Essential business socializing skills, sharing your opinion, business letters, and email communication. So the main idea is to let this person pass out from this course as a valuable candidate, as a valuable individual. So we cover all these essential skills. These skills are very important in a corporate environment, especially even if you want to work in Dubai. Guys, we should always value ourselves. We should strive to do the best job out there. We should not surrender to odd jobs. We are seeing that in our communities. We are, because I'm one of y'all. That's what I'm saying. We see that. You know that. You know, some of our people are like, you know, at the war front in another country. What for? You see? So the thing is, we as a nation should increase our professional value. We should hold positions that we deserve without any self-limiting beliefs. So that's something that I think I would like to emphasize. So we should know that, because that's very important. So guys, apart from those components, these are the points you will learn: using tenses accurately while communicating, using prepositions, articles, and punctuations correctly, because quite often students make mistakes there, logically structuring ideas while writing and speaking, using formal language in communication, and employing complex structure in both speaking and writing. So the point is, guys, these things are very important. Even if you're planning to prepare for IELTS, you do need to know them, because quite often I see students prepare for IELTS, but they are not very thorough with their basics. And there are people who are really fluent, they sound fluent, but they tend to make so many grammar mistakes. I mean, quite often people are not aware of present perfect, past simple, when to use them, when to use conditionals, because conditionals are very useful when you're negotiating, using a hypothetical situation. Like if I were in your shoes, I wouldn't, right? So using such constructions would definitely make you stand out. So those are the things we would like to teach you all in this program. And it's actually very comprehensive. And I'm pretty sure you all will find it useful. So like I said, we have a goal with this course. So after completing the course, these are the expectations you should have: being able to deliver presentations confidently, participating in business meetings confidently, to communicate confidently on general business topics, have acquired skills to negotiate, convince, and resolve conflicts, enhance business and essential vocabulary, and improve their fluency. So the course price, guys, is actually not that expensive. It's on a special offer. It's only 24,000 LKR, Sri Lankan rupees. And you can pay in 2 installments. So remember, it's going to be for 3 months. It's going to be 2 lessons per week. Okay, so 2 lessons per week, guys. So you can calculate each lesson 2 hours. So it's going to be for 3 months. And 2 lessons are going to be twice a week. So we are starting next week. So looking forward to teaching you all. And also I have a team. I'll also show my team. So it's not just Sri Lankan teachers. It's also going to be foreign teachers with y'all. So I think it's going to be a great opportunity. So you're going to have native speakers working with y'all, and they will give you some proper feedback. And also, like, you're going to have a coaching component. And when you want to, attend a workshop with a coach. Now, usually I charge top dollar, but the thing is, like, you're going to have my experience, my advice, and I'm pretty sure you'll find it valuable as well. So, guys, in order to sign up, you can register. So click to register and get a free consultation. So one of our consultant, if you sign up now, will assess your level for free, and then you will receive skill improvement recommendations. And also we will see how we can help you further. Maybe we should really focus more on grammar with you. So if you're really looking forward to improving your speaking skills, if you want to kind of, let's say, like, take that next step and thrive in your career, I would highly recommend this program, guys, because actually to the market price we're offering, it's extremely cheap. With the components we're offering, I don't think anyone would offer that in Sri Lanka. Now, I know because I've done my research, and I'm 100% sure that, you will not find a product like this. And I also guarantee you won't have any regrets, because when students prepare with us for IELTS, they say that more than the preparation, they find it very effective, and also the experience that they gain, they value that a lot. So, guys, we're going to have 3 groups. Group A, Monday, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Sri Lanka time to 10 p.m. because, we have a time difference because we are from Eastern Europe. So that's why it's going to be 8 p.m. your time till 10 p.m. Then we have a Saturday, Sunday morning group, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. noon. And then group C is like Wednesday, 8 p.m. And Sunday, it's going to be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. noon. You see, so those are the 3 groups. So I will definitely teach you all at the early stage, and also there will be other teachers working with you all, but we will focus on each and every student. And remember, it's a mini group, only 15 students in each group. You see, and gradually, guys, we will go through that because there'll be some bonding and so on. We will have some, team building options, and also our team from Sri Lanka would meet you all in a cafe. So we have a lot of interactive events as well, and I'm pretty sure it will be very useful, guys, in the long run. So that's it for today. So remember, it's 24,000 LKR, 12 weeks, 48 lessons. Then actually remember that lessons are conducted twice a week. Each lesson will last for 2 astronomical hours. So the course is suitable for students at an intermediate level and higher. So yes, you should be able to speak a bit. If you're able to carry a conversation, I'm pretty sure it should be fine, because I know that in Sri Lanka, students learn English when they are schooling. So that background would be enough, but you can't have a 0 level. If you can't even use a word, then of course the program will not be effective. So I don't want to lie that. That's something that you all should know. Fine. So guys, we also have professional expert. We have Olga, who's actually our academic director. We have Marina, Tahmuraz, and so on. So they'll also will be working with me. And we also have Sri Lankan teachers who would work with weaker students at the beginning. So these are like, PhD holders, university lecturers who are highly qualified as well. Fine. So guys, do you have questions? I'm more than happy to answer some questions related to career development, improving English skills, and also about our career step course. So once again, guys, those who are interested, those who would like to enroll, you can actually leave your details. We will not enroll everyone. So we would like to assess your level, because we want the group to have the same level to make it effective. Yes, so are all teachers foreigners? Like I said, yes, most of the teachers are foreigners. So some of them are like, career development coaches with me. And some of them are like, certified English teachers. We also have 2 Sri Lankan teachers. They're highly qualified. One teacher is actually working at the Peradeniya Kandy University. She's a university lecturer. Having said that, she's very interactive. Students love her with this program. So she works with weaker students, those who need proper clarification. And if they need some explanation in the native language, she's there. But most of the teachers are native speakers, like foreign teachers. And even with our IELTS programs, those are the ones who prepare. So for the past more than 1.5 years, foreign teachers work with our students. Will you give? Yes. When we speak about, it's not just job interview. Yes, exactly. It's a very good question. So Sandamali, very good. It's good that you asked that question. We will give specific training for many components, many situations: job interview, how to present, how to avoid conflicts, how to speak over the phone, how to sell something. So selling, guys, don't think like selling. Selling is everything. Even with a family, you have to sell. You have to sell an idea, you have to sell a product, you have to sell a thought, right? So we have all these components. And if you look at our lesson today, it was just me talking, right? So it's because it's an introductory session. But in our lessons through Zoom, we will make everyone to speak. So there'll be pair work, proper feedback. And after every month, you will have a progress report. So we will say, for example, I don't know, like Sachini, like you've made progress here, you need to work here. And as a team, so we have a board where we will see how we can help that candidate further. Because even with our IELTS preparation, we have never asked a student to pay extra unless they miss the deadline. We try to support them as much as possible free of charge. So the point is, yes, we will cover all the components. I don't feel confident when I speak. Yes, so this course will help you because you will have that exposure. You will face different situations, and also will show you how you should visualize. So you will have appropriate training. So what I can say, Anujan, is that compared to other courses, you will have more speaking practice, number one. And it's not just speaking practice, but you'll be practicing based on corporate situations. So that's the key difference here. So guys, we are planning to start 2 groups next week. So it's a good question. So we are starting group A. So let me just share it with you all. Monday, Wednesday. So we are planning to start next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Group A. And we are planning to start group B Saturday, Sunday, a week after. And group C is in the process. So actually maybe in the future, but for now we are focusing on group A, Monday, Wednesday, and group B. Yes, you can. You can pay in installments, guys. So for example, the course price is 24,000 LKR. So first you can pay 12,000 and then you can pay 12,000 LKR. So yeah. Fine. Any more questions, guys? Maybe, you're looking for, I don't know, you want to progress in your career. You're looking for a change, or maybe you want to seek some advice. You can write and I can go briefly on those things if needed. So that's why, in our Zoom lessons, we get to communicate with our students too. Sometimes they share some of their corporate challenges. Sometimes they write to us and I try to work with them as well. So that's the uniqueness about our Career Step program. So don't think it's like the English course. It's a program that would help you to communicate properly in English. And you'll also learn some coaching components, which would be useful for your professional environment. Okay. Fine. So guys, that's it then. I want to thank you all if you don't have questions. So I hope you found this session useful. Remember that anything that we do in life, we need to be goal-oriented, number one. Number two, guys, work with your thoughts. Now, there is a famous saying, a poem by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Let me finish with that. He says, sow a thought, you reap an act. Sow an act, you reap a character. Sow a character, you reap a destiny. In other words, guys, we become what we think most of the time. So the thing is, the more we think about something, we adapt to that, our body, our habits, our life, our surrounding. So think about your thoughts, always have positive thoughts, always have clear goals. Let it be big. And I wish you guys to achieve those goals. And I'm pretty sure you will achieve it successfully. So guys, thank you very much. I hope you found it useful. It was a pleasure teaching you all. So I'm looking forward to teaching you all very soon. Until then, guys, have a great evening. Take care. Goodbye. Thank you.